Hello, technical writing students. This is Julie Gross, and we are now going to talk about preparing a resume. That's one of the assignments that we're going to be looking at for this week. And resumes are covered in your textbook under Chapter 5. So we're going to look at a few things about how to prepare to write a resume. If you look in your book, it talks about what employers like to see on a resume. And these 7 things are listed here on this PowerPoint slide. So let's talk about them a little bit. Honesty is an obvious thing I think that you need to put into your resume in any kind of employability document that you write. You don't want to stretch the truth. You don't want to exaggerate. You need to be truthful about your qualifications because they will come to find these things once if they do decide to have you as an employee at their company. Number 2 is attractiveness. Preparing a resume that is attractive is very important because they're going to be looking at it and seeing if it does look pleasing to the eye. So it needs you need to fill the white space in it. It needs to be consistent with its format, and it just needs to look nice. Number 3 is organization. It should make sense. You don't want to jump around. You don't want to go from a job that you have right now back to something you had 5 years ago and then jump back again to something closer to the present. You need to be mindful in that with your organization that it should make sense to the reader. It should be concise. You need to keep it to one page. If you have been in the work environment for a long time or for a while and you have a lot of job history, it might push to 2 pages. But for most of us, we can get our information onto 1 page that's going to be relevant to the job we're applying for. It needs to be accurate. There should be no mistakes on it. You should read it and proofread it and have somebody else read it and look at it over and over again to make sure you don't have any errors on it. I've heard of stories of employers throwing away resumes if they see 2 or 3 errors on it because it looks like you have no attention to detail and that you really don't care. So be accurate. Be current, make sure everything is up to date and documented, and be relevant. You want everything to pertain to the job that you're applying for. Let's look at a few other things here. The process of writing your resume, if you're stuck and you're saying, "Carl, I just don't know what kinds of things to put on my resume," in Chapter 5 it gives you these questions you can ask yourself. When you were in school, what kinds of classes did you excel in? What things earned you the highest grades? What kind of computer skills have you mastered? That's an excellent category you can put right on your resume. What jobs have you had? That's going to go in your job history or experience category. Technical skills can be a whole separate category on your resume. Do you work well with people? You can put down a summary of your sort of personal or interpersonal qualifications that you have. Can you organize complicated tasks? What are experiences or responsibilities you had that dealt with money? And then are there any specific awards or scholarships, commendations, promotions at work, things that you could list as achievements that will show them the kinds of things that you've done in the past, which also shows them what kinds of things that can be predicted of you in the future. What should you include from a resume? There are certain things that you should just leave off of a resume. Don't include them. Federal employment laws prohibit discrimination on the basis of race and sex, age, national origin, religion, marital status, disability, those kinds of things. So those are the kinds of things you do not want to put on your resume. You also don't want to put salary demands. Don't tell them how much money you would like to get. Don't talk about fringe benefits. Don't talk about why you left your previous job. You do not need a photograph. Please don't put your social security number, height, weight, hair color, and personal information, things like that. You do not need to list on your resume. There are different parts of a resume that you do need to have, and I'll show you this when we talk about our rubric later. But at the top of your resume, you do need your contact information. You need that there so that obviously they can get a hold of you. You want your name, you want your address, telephone number, email address, and this contact information should be the same on your letter of application, your resume, and your reference page, just because of consistency. You want a career objective at the top, and your book does a nice job talking about the career objective. It's going to give you examples of poorly written ones, something like to obtain a full-time position as a nurse. That's a little too basic or unfocused. You want to add some things to that to make it a little more personal. Credentials, you have to have a section on education, a section on experience. You want to list any related skills and experiences you have. A section on computer skills is always good. Having honors and awards, and then references we are not going to have on our resume. We are going to wait and put that as a separate assignment or a separate sheet that you will attach with your resume. Organizing your resume, we're going to use the chronologically organized resume. That's the organization that we're going to look at. Your information will be listed year by year under 2 main categories, your education experience, and you'll start with the most recent education or experience that you have, and you will work backwards on your resume. If you have a whole lot of experience or a lot of education, you might look at using the functional or skill area organization, but we're going to focus on the chronological way to organize the essay. All right, thank you. If you have any questions, let me know.